standing outside my front door right now, and I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be making a trigger pull poundage measuring device. So what I did is I went to Home Depot and I bought this particular rod. If you look at it, this side would be better. If you look at it, it's a 3/16 by 36 inch rod, and it's zinc coated. I got that because if you look at the texture of it or the smoothness of it, it's really smooth. So that way I figured it would give me the least amount of restriction, friction, whatever you want to say, when it was hanging on my trigger. So what I'm going to do right now is bend the ends. And I'm doing this kind of one-handed while I use my phone. So to show you what I'm going to be doing, I'm using the end of a tool to put on here. That way I can use that to bend it. So give me a moment and I'll be right back. The reason why I decided to do it today is because, well, as you can see, it's pretty rainy outside. Not much else to do. No signs of letting up either, so I figured I'd make an indoor project. Okay, I just give it a little test really quick and wanted to let you see how easy it really is to bend this. Now let me see if I can set up my camera, and so that way you guys can get a view of it. Let me turn it around. Hopefully that was in frame and you're able to see it. So this will be my hook side, so that way I can put weights on it or whatever. This side is going to be my trigger side. Okay, so now if you look at my hook, you'll see that it's like a 90-degree opposing each other. So if the trigger is here, I can hang the weights off of it in the front of the weapon, so that way it pulls straight down. Now I'm going to go ahead and get a measurement on this and see how much it weighs and give you some options as far as things you can use around the house to weigh it with. Okay, now I'm going to turn on my scale and I'm going to measure the, well, look at that, it's on grams. Don't want to know grams, I want to know pounds and ounces. So I'm just going to zero it out. It's zeroed, good. Now remember, the rod that I got from Home Depot, it's a 3/16 inch zinc rod. You'll be able to tell because it's the one that's got the green end on it. Now I'm going to have to hang this over the edge a little bit because I've got the opposing bends on it. So this comes right in at 4 3/8 ounces. So what I'm going to do now is measure some stuff that I can hang off of it. Well, do you need a cheap weight? Great value, 2 pounds of pinto beans, and it weighs exactly 2 pounds and 1/4 ounce. So 2 pound great value pinto beans from Walmart, about $1.33 a piece. That's one bag. Now let me try the other bag, see what it weighs. Put it in the middle. They're exactly 2 1/4 ounces. So 2 of them would be 4 pounds and 1/4 ounce, plus my rod. Well, being that it was the holidays recently, what I wanted to do was measure some cans and see what we got. 1 7/8 of an ounce. Now, when I make my green bean casserole, I like to mix it up between the cut green beans and the French style, but I just happened to grab 2 of these. And guess what? Every can of the Del Monte, where's the size on here? I'm sorry, it's right here. It's going to be hard to see. But it's the 14.5 ounce. Each one of those is, like I was looking at, 1 pound and 7/8 ounce. Well, cream of mushroom, how much does that weigh? 12 ounces on the dot. So if you get the can of cream of mushroom soup, it's 12 ounces on the dot. Once again, these cans, about $1 a piece. So if you want to have a 5 pound trigger, guess what? It's going to cost you about $5 in weights. Well, I also have a plastic bag, and I wonder how much it weighs. 1/4 ounce. Okay, along with the whole theme of let's see what we got laying around the house, how much it weighs, and therefore we could always have like a constant ability to grab weights and measure stuff. Now remember, I've only spent $3 so far, and that's on this rod. At Home Depot, it's the Zinc 3/16 green tip, so that way you can remember to get it. It's 36 inches long, so I can also do rifles with this when I'm done. One of the other things, I have a full-size Glock 31 magazine for 357 SIG, and it weighs 2 7/8 ounce. Let's say 3. What's this one weigh? 2 7/8 ounce. Great. So guess what? Now I have half a pound, and I got 3 ounces for just quick adding, or 2.78. So that way, or 2 7/8 should I say. So that way when I add up all my weights, I can write it down and figure out my exact trigger pull. Yeah, I've got another mag over there, so I don't really have to worry about running out of magazines. On a side note, just to let you know, I have these that are 357 SIG rounds, and these are 9mm, and guess what? I guess they all happen to weigh 2 7/8, because there's one, here's another 9mm, and it's right at 3 ounces. So that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna call them 2 7/8, 3 ounces, just so that way you know. Okay, this weapon has already been cleared and safed. There is no magazine. I don't like to bring any ammo into an area that I'm not going to be using it. So here's my Glock, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and measure the trigger poundage on it. So give me a second and get it set up, and then we'll see. Okay, since I don't like having to add stuff up, you can see I've got the plastic bag, the 2 pounds or two 2-pound bags of the pinto beans, the rod, and it comes right up to 4 pounds, 5 ounces, and 1/4 ounce. So let's see how that works on the gun. Okay, you can see the only pieces that I have now. I've got my Glock 31 with a Lone Wolf barrel in there. I have the 2 bags of 2 pounds of pinto beans. Now I'm going to lift it, and I've got it angled in such a way so that way it'll go ahead and it'll trip that safety on the trigger. So I'm picking it up, and it pulls. So I have less than a 4 pound 5 ounce trigger. So let's go ahead and see what it goes down to. Okay, so what I have here is a 2 pound bag of pinto beans. I have the Del Monte cut green beans. Remember, this weighed just over a pound. This is 2 pounds. This is 1/4 ounce the bag, and there was like 4 ounces for the rod here, and then almost 3 ounces for the magazine. So if you look, you can see it's right at 3.5 pounds, just over 3.5 pounds. Let's see if that will trip it. Here we go. 2 pound bag of pinto beans, 1 pound can of green beans, the magazine on my Glock model 31. Let's pick it up, see if it... Oh, it does not trip it. So I have more than a 3.5 pound trigger pull. Well, let's see how much more. Okay, so what I have here to make up 3 pounds, 14 ounces, and 3/8 of an ounce is the plastic bag, the bar, green beans, tuna fish, 2 pound bag of pinto beans. And you can see, once again, pinto beans was 2 pounds, this was a pound, this was 8 ounces. And so altogether, with the plastic bag and everything, it weighs right at 3 pounds, 14 3/8 ounce. Okay, I've got my helper here with me. She's going to go ahead and be my supervisor observer. Once again, the bag is weighted, the trigger, so I can go ahead and activate the safety on the trigger, and it pulls it. Alright, I don't know if you can quite see it. It's 3 pounds, 11 ounces, and a half ounce. And so basically what it is the 2 pound bag of beans. I have the 1 pound of the green beans, and I put my 2 magazines, which were just under 3 ounces apiece, and with the bar, everything together is 3 pounds, 11 ounces and a half. And between this and 3 pounds, 14 ounces is where my trigger breaks consistently. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this. It's a Glock 42. I had to put the pinky extension on there because my hands are so friggin' big, and this thing's like a little toy gun. I mean, like I can almost cover it up with my thumb. So let's go ahead and measure this one to see how reliable our trigger pull gauge is now. Okay, it's a little bit hard to see. However, that is 5 pounds, 6 ounces, right on the dot. That's the two-pound bags of beans. It's a 1 pound can of the green beans, and the rod. Let me test it on the gun. Okay, so 5 pounds, 11 ounces, and 3/4 of an ounce is what it takes to get this gun to break. As far as the trigger goes. Once again, guns have been safety checked. There's no ammunition in the training area. So this is a really cool gun. I mean, it is tiny. Look at this. My thumb is wider than the gun. Of course, I've got huge paws, but I mean, I quite literally could hide this in my hand and you'd never know I got it. So that's why I had to put the pinky grip on it. But I think for a little gun, this would be awesome. However, once again, getting back to the main subject here, is the affordable trigger pull gauge with known items around the house that you can build yourself. I have into this trigger gauge because I get a discount, a 10% discount. This cost me $3.03 at Home Depot. I used the hole in the pipe wrench that I got to bend it. If you look at it, this particular bend right here is just a little bit more than 90. It's just a tad more 90, so it stays on the trigger. If you have a problem with it staying on your trigger, what you can do is take a zip tie, put it right here really tight, and another zip tie and put it really tight right there. So that way it'll trap the trigger in between. So all I do is use household items, cans, green beans, tuna fish, beans. If you wanted to, you could go to Walmart and buy weights, 3.5 pound weights, 1 pound weight, whatever you wanted to do. But I just wanted to use some known items that you might have laying around the house to see what you could do. You can also use an empty jug that I could put on here. I could put this through the handle of an empty jug and put water into it. But that would require you to have a scale all the time. What I wanted to do was get something to where people could have an item like this where they spend $3 instead of the 60 or whatever. The professional gauges like this with the 3 pound weights, the 1 pound weights, I was looking online. Those are like $100 and some odd dollars. I've got $3 into it and some household goods. Well, hopefully this works for you and you're happy with it. Thank you, YouTube. Oh yeah, man, I'm the master of my house, man. What you talking about? Yeah, you know, what I say goes. Come on now. I want to bring my guns out. I bring my guns out. What? What's that, baby? Oh, no. I was just down here cleaning the kitchen. That's it. Did you want some coffee? Okay, baby, I make it for you.